Ideas, inspiration, innovation. This is The Game Changer. And now here's your host, Chicky Fitzgerald.
Good morning. I am so excited because back by popular demand, we have Dr. Jan Yager. And what you may not know, well, there are a couple of things that you may not know about Jan. She is the author, first of all, that I've interviewed the most of all of the authors, and I've interviewed close to 400 of them. But she's also the most brilliant marketer of the podcasts that we do, because she has had more listens to, and not just because we've done so many of them, but individually, she has been the top in the listener category of all of our authors. So congratulations for that, Jan.
Thank you. Wow, that's an honor. I'm very flattered.
Well, I want to welcome you again this morning, and I'm so excited because you've actually moved to my backyard here in Tampa, and it's great to have you and your husband here. And I am just excited to hear about what you have done since the last time we were together. But let's start with this. The topic that you write about the most is friendship. And this show is called The Game Changer. And I want to hear from you how you believe friendship is a game changer.
Well, it's interesting because it truly is on both professional and personal levels. It can be the difference between sanity and insanity, happiness and depression, success or failure. It really makes a pivotal difference because mentors who often become friends can help the rise up faster than reading, any book, including my own. That's why so many book authors become mentors and coaches. The one-on-one is pivotal, and that's really what friendship is all about. Feeling that out of the whole world of options, you were chosen.
I love that. And, when you take a look at people, and I was having this discussion with someone that I interviewed yesterday about this, that men have a little bit harder time having friends. For women, it really comes naturally to us. And as I look at my friends, my friend group, probably 75% of them I met through business. And not through, neighborhoods and church and those kinds of things. So do you find that there's a difference in the friendship equation between men and women?
It's actually gotten a little less dramatically different since 9/11, because 9/11 was a turning point when men were publicly sharing grief. But what I found over the decades of my friendship research is that men are very cautious about saying or doing anything that might derail their rise to the top. And friendship requires self-disclosure. So they're a lot more reluctant to blur those lines. They do, but so often when I interview a man, he'll say that his best friends go back to when he's 10. So there's a lot of proof there, but also that their wife or their significant other is their best friend. Now, we women will say, my best friend is my husband, but also my girlfriend Joyce in Jersey. So right. It's a different mindset, but men need friends, but they're going to be a lot more cautious. And women, as we've climbed up the ladder, we've had to learn to be more cautious also.
Right. So in the 15 years that you and I have been friends and have been talking about this topic, what has changed? Or is it all very much the same and you're just writing about new dimensions?
I think that when I started back in 28 years ago, when my book Friendshifts, which was based on an extension of my dissertation, was published, and I got on Oprah and The View and the Today Show, saying that friends can last a lifetime, but sometimes they don't, that was a radical idea. Then my next follow-up book in 2002, When Friendship Hurts, there was such a stigma about negative friends. But now I find that there's almost a glut of writing and talk about friendship, and it can get a little superficial. And I think that's not a good direction we're going in. We need to keep looking at it. My last book, Friendjevity, did not get the attention it should have. So I said to my husband, who's also my collaborator in Love and Work, why do you think that is? And Fred said, no one wants to think about, the end. And yet we know that not only friends can help you extend your life, but there's an important chapter in Friendjevity on fatal friends and frenemies that, the wrong friend can have a lot of negative effects.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And we've all had to look at toxicity in the people around us and make decisions about culling the herd, if you will.
Sure.
And perhaps having a lot of friends that aren't able to really self-disclose and to support, right? So I'm really excited to hear about what's next for you. I know you mentioned that you had written 2 new books, and I happen to have them here.
Thank you. That's what friends do. They talk about your books.
Yes, putting When Friendship Hurts to work. And again, this is really dealing with the not so fun side of friendship, and dealing with betrayal and abandonment and being wounded by friends, which is unfortunately all too common, as you mentioned. And then this one, Celebrating Friends and Friendship. And again, this is perfect for this time of year when we are getting ready to do that.
Sure.
Many of us spend a lot of time with our family, but
Sure.
make sure that you're making room for friends who maybe don't have family close.
Well, the interesting thing is that, even though I continue to teach college courses and write books and publish books, what's ahead for me is I've written 2 one-act plays, A Week with Mom and Please Don't Forget Me, which is a dramatization of the hot car syndrome. And my goal for 2025 is to see those plays produced, partly because I feel that I don't want the more isolated lifestyle of a writer. I want the more interactive lifestyle of someone who's out there in the world. My older son has a very popular podcast, and it's an outgrowth of the MTV show, The Challenge, that's been on the air for over 20 years. And I recently went to one of his live events in New York. And it was so exciting to be in this room with all these people who had come from all over the country to hear from the contestants who were in his event. But also that my son has this network that's so powerful, in addition to his wife and 3 children. So I want to get into the world of filmmaking, of play production, which is, you can't produce a play alone. You can write and publish a book alone. We call it self-publishing.
Right.
You could self-produce, but you physically want to get people in the audience. So that's the direction I want to go in. But it's a lot harder to negotiate lots of people than just yourself.
Oh, without a doubt, without a doubt. So, Jan, you've talked a little bit about what's next for you, and I think that's really exciting. And choosing Tampa is a very interesting part of that decision, because I think we do have a very artsy community here. A lot of people don't know about that, but the current leadership of the city is trying to make us an arts destination. And that really is every perspective about the arts. So what is next? What is next? So if you are able to see your play produced, what then comes after that?
I have 13 unproduced screenplays. 4 of them I've co-written. My company, I created a list of 62 books that we have available for adaptation. Not all of them are by me or my family members. I have other authors. So getting those books shepherded by other people, because I can't do it all myself.
Right.
I'm turning 76 on Monday, and my new mantra is 80 by 80, because I've published 62 books and I want to publish 80 books by 80. So I've got about 18 to go over the next 4 years.
Wow.
So, as long as I'm healthy, I don't have the R word in my vocabulary. We know what the R word is. I love work. I love teaching. I love, being involved, sitting in a rocking chair, or I love travel. I have a book, Around the World in 80 Ways. But to me, travel is only exciting if it's tied to something, some kind of project, possibly visiting people, but even more than that, doing research, like my very first trip to India, which was to research the history of vegetarianism.
Interesting.
That was back in my early 20s.
Interesting. Well, we have been talking to Dr. Jan Yager, and she has so many books. One of the other ones that she mentioned was Friendshifts. And am I pronouncing that right? Friendshifts?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Anyway, you can take a look at her on Amazon, and as she said, she is a prolific author. And again, the topic has been friendship and how friendship plays into changing your game and how it strengthens you and your character and just benefits all of your relationships.
And if it's okay, Chicky, I want to invite everyone to go to my website, drjanyager.com. And the second topic that I write about is time management, and my book, How to Finish Everything You Start, actually became a #1 Kindle in India, beating out Harry Potter and Dr. Covey's 7 Habits for 6 months. So that was very exciting, and the book is still thriving. So How to Finish Everything You Start. And, it's just exciting to be able to connect with you again. And one of the reasons we moved to Tampa, in addition to you being here, is that my younger son and his family live in a suburb of Tampa Bay. So that was a draw.
Oh, fabulous. Well, and the weather can't hurt either.
Definitely. Yeah, we were up there for Thanksgiving. I think it was 28 degrees in New York.
Well, it's going to be in the 70s today, and I saw today that the prediction for Christmas Day is equally good. And my kids, who both live in Europe, they're both coming here this year after 2 years of spending Christmas in the UK, where it was not 70 degrees on Christmas Day. Well, Jan, it has been fabulous. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you. Same here. Take care.
You've been listening to The Game Changer. Ideas, inspiration, innovation with Chicky Fitzgerald.